Hello and welcome to this warrior focused flow. So as the name suggests, today we are going to be focusing on the warrior poses, warrior 1, 2 and 3, and then variations of each one as well. So we'll get started by arriving to our practice. So we always look to do that by taking a moment to pause, to connect to the body and to the breath, just noticing what's going on for you today. So come to a comfortable seat here, look to find stillness, maybe have a little wiggle and adjust as you settle in. And then take a few deep breaths, perhaps closing the eyes, maybe just softening the gaze, a slight bowing of the head. And notice how the breath is moving. And if it's comfortable, you'll begin to deepen the breath here. Find a softening through the body, relaxing the jaw, the shoulders, the hips. Taking a moment to really become present. And then from here, we're going to come through to a child's pose. So when you're ready, making your way into that child's pose, coming through all fours. You may take a traditional child's pose or perhaps a wide-legged variation. Just coming to drop the forehead down towards the mat. Opening through the back of the body, taking a few deep breaths here. And then from here, if your hands are down beside you, you'll bring them to the top of the mat. Walking the fingertips away, really stretching out and activating the shoulders. And then from here, we're going to walk our hands over to the right hand side. So we want to keep our hips sinking down towards the heels. Walk the hands over, maybe bring the left hand on top of the right. And breathe into the left hand side of the body. Inhale, come back through center. Take a breath at center. And then walk your hands over to the left hand side. This time perhaps bringing right hand on top of left, stretching out through the right hand side of the body. Inhale to come back through center. Taking one round of breath here. Come high on the fingertips, really working into the shoulders, looking down the mat here, so looking to the top of your mat. And then with your next inhale, lift yourself up, coming onto all fours. So we look to find our neutral tabletop here with the wrists under the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And as always, we begin with our cats and cows. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, push the earth away, rounding through the back. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Really just tune into your breath and this movement flowing between these two shapes here. And we'll take 3 more rounds. Pausing at the end of that third round, coming back to that neutral tabletop position. And we'll find some circles into the hips here. Inhale to lift the right knee and then circle that leg round. One more circle and then send your circles in the opposite direction. And then we land that knee back down, switching sides. Inhale to lift the left knee. And then we begin those circles. When you're ready, send those circles the opposite way. Final circle, landing that back down again. Good, and then from here we're going to come into our downward dog. So we place our hands perhaps slightly further forward, tuck our back toes, pick our hips up and send them back. Maybe find some movement as you settle into your downward dog, that pedaling out of the feet. And then drop the heels down, take a few breaths here. When you're ready with an inhale, we're going to lift our right leg, coming into a three-legged dog. Exhale, step that leg through, landing the foot down. The toes are facing forwards. The back foot is then also going to land down and it's going to come on sort of a 45-degree angle. We inhale to lift up. We bend into that front knee, arms up overhead. The gaze is looking forwards, keep bending into that front knee, make sure the weight is pushing evenly through the back foot. We're in our warrior one. And then we're going to come into our reverse warrior here. So we drop our left arm down towards our back left leg. Keep bending into that front knee as we begin to lean back, look up, coming into that reverse. Inhale, lift all the way up, both arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down behind you, interlink the fingers and open into the chest. We then exhale for our humble warrior. Now this fist can remain at your lower back or it can lift up overhead. Exhale, release the hands, frame that front foot. Heel toe this front foot to the center of your mat. And then we turn our back foot to face the long edge of our mat. And with our inhale, we sweep the arms up in a lovely big cartwheeling motion. We come to our warrior two. Arms are out at shoulder height, bending into that front knee. From here, we find our reverse warrior. So we flip the front palm. Inhale, find a reach forwards. Exhale, sweep it back, coming into that reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale for our side angle, reaching that front forearm onto that front thigh. And then stretching out through that back leg. Inhale, lift up, warrior two. From here, we're going to come into our warrior three, but first we're going to transition through a high lunge. So we turn our hips, we turn that back foot, we come into our high lunge. From here, we're coming into our warrior three. So we're going to reach the arms forwards, begin hinging forwards, pick up that back foot, Keep reaching forwards, creating this lovely T shape with the body. Take 3 breaths. Exhale to land that back foot down. We open out wide. We come to our warrior 2. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. Exhale, come down into a forward fold. That nice wide-legged variation here. We're going to walk our hands to the top of our mat. We're going to frame our front foot. We're into a runner's lunge. We step this foot back and we move through a vinyasa to finish in our downward dog. We're into our downward dog. We take a few breaths here. Inhale, lift the left leg, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step through. We come to warrior 1 on this side. So we land that back foot down on that 45-degree angle. Lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, drop the right hand down. Bend it back for that reverse warrior here. Inhale, lift up, facing the front. Exhale, drop the hands, interlink the fingers, open into the chest. Next exhale, we come down into that humble variation. Exhale, release the hands, frame that front foot. We adjust our footing here for our warrior 2. Inhale, open out. Drop the arms to shoulder height, open into the hips, looking over the front fingers. Flip the front palm, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, send it all the way back to that reverse. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. And again, we're preparing for that warrior 3. We transition through our high lunge. So we inhale, we turn to the top of the mat. Find your balance. And then we hinge forward, push off that back foot. We come into our warrior 3 variation. One more breath. Exhale, land that back foot, open out to warrior 2 once again. Sweep the arms all the way through, frame that front foot, come through your runner's lunge. And then we step back, moving through our vinyasa once again. Meeting in our downward dog. Exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes, sink the hips back, come into child's pose. Taking one more breath in your child's pose. Inhale, coming up through seated. You can choose which seated position you want to take here, whichever one feels most comfortable for you to end this short little practice. So we find that seat and close the eyes. And just take a moment to reconnect to breath and body. We'll take one more breath. And then when you're ready, you'll bring your hands either into prayer or any other meaningful gesture. Exhale, bow the head down towards the hands. And take a moment to end our practice with gratitude. And take time to express gratitude to yourself for showing up for today's practice, for giving yourself the gift of this time on the mat, this time to breathe and move your body. Thank you for joining me for today's class. I look forward to seeing you for the next one.